I said this is the finale for the video because you've given me so much. I gotta absorb it when I go back and look at this. But something I want to touch on is being a businessman. Federal District Records is a label that you own.
Yes.
That you own, and that you are
chain, baby. You got, you don't got the chain. It ain't real. So
put it up there.
You gotta get the chain, baby. You understand me? You gotta have to watch the match. The pinky ring, and then you get a little thing with Nymrod with the N on. You got to get the label on your neck. You got to put the label. That's why I tell niggas, I just don't talk. I took and I put a label around my neck. Goddamn, you understand that? Yeah.
So then, as a businessman, what does it mean to be the leader of a new sect of artists that come from under you?
Oh. Iron Man to the Avengers, Captain America, to bring them to the promised land is amazing. I'm happy to see them win. Sometimes I'm more happy to see them win than me winning for myself. I love to see all I don't call them my artists, I call them my partners. And I love to see my partners win and make it. Every one of them means something to me. Jules,
who's dope,
who's amazing.
On Heritage Hip Hop already. Hopefully everybody's seen it.
Yes, she is the soul of this label in a lot of ways. I've watched that woman grow from having 1,000 followers on Instagram to in a year having 12,000. Everybody loving her music. Her videos are amazing. She is the truth. Joey Bada, my brother, no matter what, when he was here, he's done iconic things. I wish him the best in his career, whatever he chooses to do, and I love him to death. Venomous, another one that was here. I built her career up. She's doing amazing, and she's now doing her own thing, and I wish her the best as well. I've had some amazing artists that I have sat down and I had built up, and I did this as a young man. I'm a little bit older now, and I'm still taking artists on, and I'm still building them up as I grow.
In today's climate, being independent is the way most people want to go because they get more of the cut. And when you look at a contract, contracts are geared towards giving the label a fair share of artists' work, compensation, whatever. Maybe you could clear that up for me, because there's a lot of artists that look to be signed and put on, but then again there's a lot of artists that say I don't need anybody. Tell me about both sides of that and where you fall on the fence with that, as in starting your own movement and having people under you.
I was to sit back and watch the Dipsets and the Bird Kings and Skull Kings. And, there's situations where, and I'm going to use them for an example, they did everything themselves, and they just had Koch at the time, E1 at the time for distribution. It's great to do things yourself without being part of a label. You get a bigger cut, a real bigger cut. You get more than half. It's great. Now, to be signed to a label, as an up-and-coming artist, to be signed to a label is better for you. How I feel is better, say Bad Boy, for instance. They have a way bigger following, they're going to get your name out there and get your numbers up faster than you doing it by yourself. You take less of a cut, but if you're a dope artist like you're supposed to be and you put in that work and not worried about the label putting in the work for you, then you're going to win. So, it's a double edge, but it's not about signing or being by yourself. It's about the work you put in, and that's how I'm going to leave it, because I've been part of a label, and then I got my label, and no matter what, I put the work in to receive the money I need to see to win. So it's about your work that you put in.
In my personal studies of the industry, which you know more about, so I'll humble myself and ask you questions.
I appreciate it.
The average artist is worth $2 million, but they don't always achieve the goal of $2 million.
Exactly.
And I've noticed that when artists are independent entities that work in the music industry with business, they're able to be not only more lucrative, but they're able to be more stable. What is it that makes the paperwork just as important as the track?
Oh, the paperwork means everything. You can't do. I don't do nothing without paperwork. We can't even have a real conversation without paperwork. The paperwork is what makes it go through. I will not take on an artist or deal with any artist without paperwork.
So some of the paperwork you're talking about by chance?
Well, it depends. There's a couple different kind of paperwork. If we're doing a song together, gotta have the split sheet. I need to know what's the percentage of, if it's your beat, my beat. You know, the beat maker gets 50% off the rip. Then everything else gets split between the artist. So, you know, that's one thing of paperwork. Contracts. An artist being signed to me. My artists are like my family. I start them off 70-30. 70 your favor, 30 my favor. That's how I work. You understand? But before we can go forth and do anything, me putting music out on you, doing videos for you, because I pay for everything for my artist. You gotta have some paperwork. You understand me? And you have to meet a certain goal for me to do these things for you, or if you don't meet it, you owe. You understand? And I've had a lot of problems with a couple of artists that I've been in court with, still going to court for, you know, to get that money. You understand? So paperwork is everything. You know, if you're an up-and-coming artist or you're a businessman, don't do nothing without the paperwork. Nothing.
With today's society being leaned towards the Donald Trump era of America, which is self-sufficiency, do it for yourself and fuck everybody else, we at Heritage Hip Hop believe in empowering the artists to know their rights and knowing that as an artist, you're already a business entity and you're partnering with someone in the craft.
Right.
Just like if Federal District got a deal with, let's say, Arista, your partner, which means they have to meet you at the table with respect rather than talk to you like a slave.
Right.
How does an artist beat the slave mentality?
Knowing the business. I took 7 years to learn the business. You know, being around Jim and them, I just didn't drop any music. I was on one song with them for Jim's album, Take Him to Church. You understand me? And I got paid cash straight up. I had to learn the business first before I decided to become an artist, before Nymrod decided to become somebody. So, you know, I tell people that I wrote songs for plenty of artists, PMD being one of them. I did his new album called New Business. I wrote it from front to back, but I made sure I knew the business before any of that happened, what I should get, what he owes me, you know. So I just tell people, learn the business, man.
Learn the business.
Learn the business.
And that's what makes you a leading mind, not only an artist or slash worker or slash boss in the game. Memphis Bleak and Jay-Z said this the best. Everybody wants to be a boss till it's time to cut the paychecks and pay them invoices.
Yes.
Talk about that part of being a leader in the game rather than somebody always saying, I'm a boss, I'm a boss, I'm a boss, and not really understanding the responsibility of being a boss in work. They just like the title.
Being a boss is making sure everybody in your team eats. Okay, that's number one. I'm not going to sit down and eat steak and my team is eating eggs or bread or toast. So that boss mentality shit don't mean nothing. It's a title. Everything is a title. I had a conversation with my team. We have conference calls every Sunday, and then management meetings every Monday. It's just a title to me. You got to do what you say. I have CEOs in my company. My company has shares. It's a real company. And I upgraded a couple of people and gave them positions. But I said, these positions don't mean shit if you don't live out the positions. So, you know, being a boss, it's a lot with it. You know, you got to make sure your team eat. You got to make sure those bills are paid. You gotta make sure that this artist is on top of their job, that this video is being done, that song is being leaked. You got to do these things. You're not a boss if you're just sitting around, you know, drinking Jack Daniels and, you know, getting pussy. That don't make you a boss. You understand? Don't make you a boss because you say you own something. No.
I'm gonna play the boss title off of your name. I don't know your real name, it's not my business. The story of Nymrod, though, was the great hunter before God. And what he did was he led the world under one principle and one thought, that to the way the scriptures are written are, he was the man that unified the world first before anything else, after the flood. So that name rings bells to people who see leadership quality and direction. Bugs Bunny used the word Nimrod as a slang term to mean I'm smarter than you. What does the name Nimrod carry when it comes to federal district records, and how will that name be remembered in time?
That's God's gift. I say that all the time. I'm the world's future. I want my name to be remembered as the J's, the Nas's, the Biggies, the Diddy's. Is it going to be? I don't know, but I'm doing everything I can to make sure that it is. I want to change hip hop back the way it should be. I feel like these people are so worried about money. These people that we looked up to, and I'm not taking shots, but I'm being honest. And no disrespect, but I have to be honest. The J's, the Nas's, the Funk Flexes, they let music go to shit in some aspects because you guys had control. If you didn't want shit to come in, it wouldn't have been here. And I feel like I have to be the one to change certain things back to where it needs to be and put music where it should go. And that's what I would love to be remembered for. That Nymrod made a big change in hip hop.